Joining us now is our friend Lanny Davis. Lanny, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning. I'm still a little bit hoarse from a Republican allergy.
Oh, you're allergic to Republicans?
It's some kind of vast right-wing conspiracy to deprive me of a good voice on this.
Or it could just be pollen.
No, Lanny, speaking as a good Republican, we love having you out there because you always get yourself into trouble when you come on this show. So please.
I do. I try not to. But
And to that end, can you please tell me what's going on with your friend Hillary here? Isn't it horrible what she's doing to the Democratic Party by making this decision drag out so long as to whether she's going to run or not? She's sort of paralyzed the other potential candidates into entering the fray here, hasn't she?
You know, it's a free country, so I don't know who's paralyzed. Anyone can do whatever they want.
But you know, I mean, Martin O'Malley says he's going to think about it, and Hickenlooper says he's going to think about it. Biden's going to that. But you know that you know, no one wants to jump in if they think Hillary's going to be in.
Well, you know, politics ain't beanbag. These are great people, and if they want to run for president, Martin O'Malley's no shrinking violet. Very capable, great governor, and he'll run for president. So I think she's got to take her time. This is a life decision, and she's had a tough 4 years. And I hope she waits until the last minute. And quite frankly, I think she needs to rest and write a good book.
All right. Well, but Lanny, hold on. What do you mean she's had a tough 4 years? I mean, she's traveled the world. Nothing really major happened while she was Secretary of State. How has it been a tough 4 years? I would have liked to have had that 4 years. I mean, except for that whole Benghazi thing.
Physically, mentally, it was a very difficult job. The travel, I think it's clear that she had physically a difficult time at one point, and she's got to just rest.
Well,
John Kerry's going to have a difficult job. You're on the road a lot, and it's very, very tiring.
Hold on, Lanny. If the last 4 years as Secretary of State has been physically taxing on her, how in God's name is she going to be president?
Well, you know, the presidency, which President Clinton certainly experienced, is a different type of pressure. But I think the travel as Secretary of State, she clearly did a great job. She's one of the most popular people in the world. But I think it did have a physical toll, and I think, quite frankly, she looked better. She came to my book party a couple of weeks ago, and I said to her, "You look better now than you did in law school 40 years ago." So I think she's looking great.
All right, I want to talk to you about Anthony Weiner, former congressman who tweeted pictures of his junk. Now wants to be the mayor of New York. He believes that he's done his penance. It's time for him to re-enter the world of politics. Are you for it or against it?
I'm 100% for it. He apologized. This is between himself and his wife. He has a great wife. They've worked it out. It has nothing to do with us. It's about his qualifications for office, and he's a highly qualified person.
He's a highly qualified person who sent out pictures of his junk.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, none of us have sinned or none of us have weaknesses. Let's not vote for the man for mayor. Come on. We're way, way beyond that as a country. And I think that he has certainly apologized.
But isn't that a reflection on judgment, Lanny?
Well, yeah, geez, none of us have bad judgment once in a while. This is a serious disqualifier. Of course, take that into account. Everybody has a right to take anything they want to, but I'm saying this is a highly intelligent, gifted public servant, made a terrible mistake. It's between him and his wife, and I'll bet you 90% of your audience agrees with it.
Well, Lanny, yeah, I think if it's posed as that, if it's posed as just about what he tweeted and whether it's between he and his wife, I think that you're right. But there's more to this story, isn't it? I mean, I remember those 10 days. I was in the center of that storm, and not only did he do what he did, but he lied about it. He berated the media. He attacked CNN's Dana Bash on camera and her producer about it, and he allowed a journalist and a news organization to take the fall for this thing for 10 days. He actually had his people accusing another journalist of hacking illegally into his Twitter account, which is a federal offense. He let them accuse this poor guy of that and let him twist in the wind until the other pictures came to light. I mean, that's really the big offense here, isn't it?
Well, that was certainly, I agree, part of what...
And he hasn't apologized about that.
Well, yes, he certainly did. The apology and the conduct, when you're caught in this type of behavior, every single person, myself included, in horror to be caught, and then the first instinct is not to admit to it, and then he finally did, and then he apologized for the lying as well as for the act. You know, there's a certain point in time that most people in America forgive when somebody does something wrong, and then they have to judge, does that affect my judgment on whether he can be a good mayor? Speaking for myself, it wouldn't. I forgive him. Somebody else may not. They're entitled.
But Lanny, is there any doubt that if there were more pictures, if those other pictures had not come to light, and the question had just come down to who do you believe, Anthony Weiner or Andrew Breitbart,
Yeah.
don't you think Anthony Weiner would have allowed that to be the end of it and just was skated away?
You know, as I have said many, many times, and I'm sure that in the back of your mind you may have the same thought, maybe not, I don't know, maybe I'm not sure. Anybody caught in this situation, it's impossible to judge how you would act other than to forgive, move on, and then judge the person for their ability to perform in office. That's my view. It's been my view about Mark Sanford. It's been my view about a lot of people caught in this type of terrible situation involving a loved one. That's really where the pain occurs, and he and Huma have worked it out, and I think the two of them should be left alone on this issue and allow him to run for mayor and then judge him on his qualifications. I think he's a
all right, Lanny. We got to roll. You've had your say, and we'll agree to disagree.
The horse voice guys.
All right, thanks, Lanny.